This is a horror game podcast. It is meant for mature audiences. It may contain shocking revelations, violence, and sexual themes. Viewer discretion is advised. Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I are playing the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Thom Raley. The scenario is entitled Ogafjord. It was written by Calen McDowell, who is also our keeper of arcane lore, and this is episode 1. So without any further delay, let's begin our journey into the darkness. Calen?
All right. This takes place in the little river town of Ogafjord, off of the St. Lawrence River in upstate New York. The population's about 10,000 people. It's in its own remote little world, isolated from everyone else. And it seems that winter is coming early. Normally it's pretty mild around this time of year, but there's been a lot of clouds lately, and the snow has been falling pretty steadily. There's a couple inches accumulated on the ground. And inside of his office is Detective Hagen, who's just really been having a rough of it. Maybe pouring himself a drink, rethinking what got him here in life. And
Yeah.
the bell over his door rings as Leif Gunderson walks in.
Are
Please
you
come in, have a seat.
are you the detective?
Yes, Halvar Haggern, pleased to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you.
What can I do for you? Do you mind if I smoke?
Please, please. I think I've seen you in my shop around town.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
I don't know what else to do, detective. I've tried calling the police. No one picks up. I don't know what's going on with the police station, but I'm at my wit's end, and I'm afraid that I might do something. I might do something rash if nothing is done through the law.
What seems to be the problem?
It's hard for me to say this, as you may be aware. There was a murder recently, a death recently in the community. It happened to be my brother. My brother Eric. He was walking along the wharf, you see, and I just so happened that one of my compatriots was nearby when this happened, and he saw who it was, and I believe this man. I know who killed my brother, but nothing is being done to solve this problem. Bring justice to the killer.
Who is it that you suspect?
There's a fisherman. I don't know his last name. There's a fisherman who works on the wharf. His name is Rich. I don't know anything about this man, but I know that he's the one who killed my brother.
You saw him do this yourself?
I did not, but the person who did see it, I trust implicitly. And this man, I have my suspicions that he is the murderer.
Do you have any reason why he would have murdered your brother?
I do not know. I have no idea. And I feel that I'm going to take this into my own hands if nothing is done to bring this killer to justice or to investigate my brother's death.
Well, This definitely sounds like something that we can and I can work on for you. I'm a private investigator. My rates are, oh, I have no idea. I give you my rates, and
I'll
what I
pay whatever
require.
is necessary. I'll pay whatever is necessary. I'll take out another mortgage if I need to,
Well,
but
I'm not that expensive a detective, but a per diem and expenses and so forth.
of course, of
Um,
course.
uh, yeah. Um, was your brother shot, stabbed?
Yes, he was shot.
He was shot. Okay.
The police don't seem to be doing anything about it, and I've lost all
Well,
patience with them.
the police in this town don't seem to the crime rate in this town right now has gone through the roof for some reason.
Astronomical. I don't know what is going on in this town. This used to be such a quiet town. When my parents got here, it was a quiet, peaceful village, and
Yes, yeah.
become it's become worse
Um,
than the dreaded city down the way.
Indeed. I'll ask you then for location, all of the relative information, who your friend is, where I can get a hold of him and so forth. I'll give you a statement here. You can write down your statement and the relative information.
Yes.
All right, great. And we'll go over to the police station where phones are ringing off the hook. Everyone is stressed out. The holding cell is packed full with people shouting and laughing hysterically. It's just a madhouse. And Officer Kirk Trussell and Roy Cutlip are just starting their shift, getting their coffee with their fellow cop, Buck Johnson, who pours himself a glass, is rubbing his eyes, just real tired. Just, oh, how are you get boys holding up?
Well, barely. I've never seen it like this.
Yeah,
You know,
it's been recent. I mean, just last week I was talking about how bored I was.
yeah, yeah. You know, I didn't really sign on for this kind of madness. Prefer, I always wanted to be a small town cop, This
I
is
always
like, this is like big city nonsense.
I thought I'd be into this. I thought that I would love it. Once it went downhill quick. Thought a
Yeah,
little
I,
excitement would be good for me, but it hasn't turned out that way.
yeah, like I responded to a call yesterday and a guy rushed me with a knife. Like, I mean, they're just being crazy and all the laughter in there. I don't know what's wrong with them.
I mean, are they drunk?
Uh, they would have slept it off by now, right? A couple of those guys have been in there 3 or 4 days.
Jeez.
There's something in the water, maybe, just driving people crazy.
I mean, I don't know what to do. We're just not cut out for this. I'm thinking about throwing in the towel.
Oh, you can't quit on us. Like so many people have quit and just went AWOL. Like you got to help us out. Like we need your help.
Yeah. Well, I think, yeah, my partner's waiting on me. Yeah, just we'll see you guys tomorrow if we all make it.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll make it, man. Don't we gotta stick together.
And as Buck walks out, you guys can hear the police chief Folger yell at you. Just Trussell, Cullet, are you in for the day? All right. We got altercation in progress. Fifth and Main in an alleyway. We don't have any other cars. We need you guys to go check it out.
Right on it, sir.
Yes, sir.
And he's, yeah, just has a stack of papers on his desk and is pulling his hair out and goes and finds someone else to yell at.
You got any other news about this, or is it just an altercation?
Should we hit the weapons locker?
Yeah, take what you need. It's
Okay.
Okay, I'll go grab a shotgun then.
Think
yeah, nice.
I think I'm gonna take yeah, I may take a shotgun as well if they've got another one.
Yeah.
And definitely just my service pistol.
It's it's an American armory, so much more than is needed for sure.
Perfect.
You guys
Excellent.
load up and roll out. Just I mean, both you guys just I mean, roll constitution rolls since you've been just working so hard and not getting too much time to rest.
That is just a failure on my part.
Yeah. That's your dragon.
Yeah, I failed as well.
Hmm. Yeah. So morale is low as you guys force yourselves out to your car to go do your job.
God damn, man, we're gonna hope we don't have to use this shit, but
I don't want to use it either, but I don't want to end up like the other guy and have somebody come at me with a knife or something.
God, I can't believe that shit's happening here.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, what happened to people?
Uh, like I said, something's in the water. Have you been drinking? You've been drinking out of the tap?
Well, yeah. I mean, well, I've been drinking coffee, which is made out of.
Maybe that's that must be it because I haven't had a sip of water since.
Yeah, I just been one cup right after the other coffee just to keep going. This is terrible.
Yeah.
And driving down, you're nice. I mean, you've lived here for so long, it's like you're in a waking nightmare. It's almost unrecognizable in this early morning, going through the snow, just how snow changes how everything looks. But downtown, there's a couple broken windows. There's some litter scattered in the street. And it's just a few blocks away from the station. You pull up to this alleyway and you see six people engaged in a brawl with two bodies on the ground beneath them.
Okay. I'll just shoot a shot into the air.
Yes. I'm
Nice.
just gonna cock mine.
Do you have intimidate? I think that'd be appropriate.
I have charm.
I've got a bit of intimidate.
Yeah, try it.
Might as well. Yeah, it's a success.
Okay. So yeah, they're just going at it. One of them is holding another guy by the cuff, like with bloodied knuckles, and he turns and smiles at you and says, "Oh, hello, officers. What can we do for you today?"
The hell are you doing? Get away from that man. Get over here on the ground.
"Oh, no, come join us. It's fun. We're all having a great time." And all of them smile at you, even the ones that are bloodied.
I'm just gonna look at Roy and these they're insane.
What do they?
What the-
This? They're enjoying it.
I mean, we can book him with, I guess, disturbing the peace.
Well, I mean, they'd have to charge somebody have to charge them for that. But yeah, or for assault and battery. But yeah, I guess we could do that, or
Just kick their asses. Just get them out of here.
something. We just got to get them out of here. Um, and you said there's six of them, and six,
Two on the
eight?
ground.
Jesus, is there any backup that we can call?
You can try, but with how things have been, you're not sure if anyone would be able to.
How many
Wondered-
pairs of handcuff? handcuffs.
Yeah,
you
that's
have.
what I was gonna ask.
You probably each carry one, and there's a couple spares in the car.
All right. So we need
Okay.
to line these bastards up in order of who's the rowdiest.
Yeah.
Which one of you fellas feels the rowdiest?
Well, they all are just giggling a little bit to themselves, and they start walking towards you too. Just no, come on, put the guns away. Try it. It's fun. You'll see.
I'm
Just,
gonna I'm gonna look at Kirk, and I'm gonna try to just like hit one in the head so he can grab him.
Yeah, yeah. I'll attempt to grab.
all right. Yeah. So while the one that's coming up closest to you is just saying, "Hey, put the gun down. Hit me in the face. See, it's fun." And
Oh.
yeah, let me see. Oh man, he takes that hit like a champ. Like you knock a tooth out, and he just smiles at you with blood pouring down his chin. It's like, see, that was fun, wasn't it? Didn't you enjoy it?
No,
Do a sanity roll with these guys just
that's
acting
better. I
completely abnormal.
passed that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I failed.
Oh, yeah. So, just lose one for failing, but yeah, there's like these people are clearly insane, like you thought. As this guy seems to be enjoying the pain, is trying to encourage it. They all start kind of roughing each other up behind him again.
I we just gotta grab these guys. Take
I
turns. Or do we? Let's call for backup.
Yeah, I'll go back to the car. Is there a radio in the car?
Yeah.
Okay. Radio back, and I'm gonna say we've got 8 people in a brawl. I need backup and a wagon to haul these fools away.
All right. So the channels are full for a while. It takes you a little bit to get the message across. Well, I mean, yeah, maybe this is where Kirk's sanity loss comes from, is just watching them just beat themselves silly, and you're struggling to get the message across. And we'll cut away from your situation to Miss Madison Derry, who has been hard at work for several days now on a very large project. Alone in her office, there's been a recent death in the community, and a very notable property has gone abandoned.
Yes, the Koenig Castle, its last resident, old Olaf, generally considered a bastard by the townsfolk, those who even had a chance to interact with him, has passed away, and there doesn't appear to be any heir. I've been going through the family paperwork, and trying to sort of clear things up. There are a number of competing interests regarding the property, which my firm's handling of will eventually bring us a tidy sum. But in the meantime, it's been quite a headache. And some of the documentation is very, very old and difficult to understand. The castle was built sometime in the early half of the 1700s. And it doesn't help that I haven't really been able to sleep, my sleep has been so plagued by strange dreams for the past, I don't know, at least a week, that trying to decipher 18th century handwriting on crumbling parchment is driving me nearly to my edge.
Yeah, and the matter of that paperwork is very peculiar because there's a lot of Old English, which is the easiest parts to read. There's some Scandinavian language. You've had all sorts of translation dictionaries out trying to figure out the words. a lot of it is written in runes, which you're not even sure how to approach that. And you're having to deal with oh, I'm sorry if I misgendered you. um um the phone calls from the interested parties who are just convinced that you're able to hand it over on a whim. Um but mostly
I
you're just waiting for that the news from the appraiser and the building inspector who went out yesterday and should be stopping by your office once they're done with their paperwork.
Yeah, I'd like to get a line on some academic somewhere who could help with this, the crazy lettering. There must be somebody at a university, maybe the county has a branch of the state university system, or I might have to send it farther afield to a proper, maybe Cornell. Somebody can tell me what the heck this runic nonsense is. I can get somebody to transcribe that or photograph it to send it over.
Yeah, that's so you could send a telegram pretty easily to get in touch with somebody, but it would be an issue of transport for sure. Um, and it's almost certainly necessary at this point to just get a grasp of what's happening.
Yeah, the last thing we want to do is take a fee and then get sued into oblivion because we didn't understand some contractual subtlety from 200 years ago. I'm the law office, town of 10,000 must have some ability to make a photostat, but then, right, it'll be the mail. Um, so yeah, I'll phone Cornell and see if there's somebody there, and if not, if they could advise me.
Yeah. So it takes up a bit of your morning, and you do get in touch with a professor who is willing to come look at it in person, if nothing else. But if you're able to send a photograph, it would make things much easier. That'd be something to look into soon. And amidst all of this, your phone rings, and when you answer, um,
Ooh,
hello, is this Madison Dairy?
speaking.
Um, yes, this is Nurse Sunny from the Ogafjord Hospital. We have, let's see, sorry, there's been a lot of patients lately. We have a Vincent Grand here who would like you to visit. He was
Vincent Graham.
admitted late last night. He said he has an important matter to speak with you, but he's bedridden.
Let's see. Does that name ring a bell at all?
That is the name of the appraiser.
Oh, cripe. All right. Yeah. What are visiting hours?
Um,
Or
you
can
should be
I?
able to come in anytime before 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. tonight.
Very good. What has caused Vincent to be hospitalized?
He was attacked by a man with an axe. He barely survived.
Gracious. But he is lucid.
Yes, is traumatized, but he should be fine.
Uh, well, that's great news. Thank you for phoning. I'll be over as soon as I can make it. I'll put some things away because I don't want to have to repeat his work. And also being attacked by an axe-wielding maniac sounds terrifying.
All right. So off to the hospital. Um, I think I'll go back to Detective Hagen at this point. Um, so with the information you have, and if you took the time to talk to the witness, it was pretty straightforward that the man named Rich who works at the docks, your best bet is to just go talk to
So
the
I'll look
fishery
in,
there.
yeah, I'll go look into the employees of the fishery. Um, and to see who I can find. I have a description from the witness.
Yeah.
Uh,
So it's a relatively easy matter. You find that business is starting to shut down, partially due to weather. It looks like they're understaffed currently. The boss is in the manager's office, and a quick conversation with them lets you know that it's Richard Westerson, who has not been showing up to work because they were arrested for an unrelated incident prior.
all right. Well, that makes my job a little bit easier.
Yeah. So
when was that? Not too long ago, or
2 days ago.
Yeah. So I will then head over to the police department and see if they have somebody in the tank that's Richard Westerson.
Yeah, great.
Afternoon, your honor. Afternoon, afternoon, officers. They probably know who I am. It's a small town, so
Yeah.
I'm looking for this gentleman, Richard Westerson. I hear that he was arrested.
Yeah, so you talk to the secretary at the front, and very busy on the phone, but yeah, she promises to help you as soon as possible. And
All right.
catching back up with our cops, Roy and Kirk, you get the idea that backup isn't on the way. You kind of have free reign on how to handle that situation, or you could just leave if you don't feel up to it.
Well, Roy, what do you feel like doing? Kicking some asses or getting our asses kicked?
I mean, if we go in there swinging, they're gonna gang up on us, I'm afraid.
Just
Yeah, we could. This is a terrible suggestion, but we could stand here until they beat themselves senseless, and then drag them off.
are they approaching us, or are they?
They're just content
Okay,
fighting
okay.
on their own. Yeah, it's as you engage with them, they notice you.
Yeah, I think you've got a good plan, Roy. I mean, if anybody's, about to die,
Yeah, we can drag them out.
we got to step in. But otherwise, let them beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're radioed back that you're needed at the station. It's
I look at Kirk and I say,
mm-hmm.
duty
Guess we
calls.
gotta go.
Gotta go.
Just walk off. Get back in the car.
Yep. As they're it seemed like they would have complained or something if they wanted your help, right? So
It was a sanctioned fight, wasn't it, Kirk?
I think so. We could have probably even taken bets and it would have been fine.
Yeah. I don't really do that kind of stuff.
Actually,
But
you want to I mean, there was a pretty big guy in there.
yeah, well, the two on the ground, obviously, I don't think I'd be betting on them.
No, of course not.
But the guy I hit with the butt of the shotgun, that was pretty impressive, I have to say.
You know how to take a hit.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'll put $1 on that guy.
Ooh, big spender. I'll match you.
All right. We'll come back in a couple hours and see what's left.
We got a plan.
Good plan. Just something else came up that was more pressing than this, apparently. And so you drive back to the station and you find one of the local detectives waiting by the secretary. And she explains, oh, good, you're back, officers. You had the least important job to call off of. we need you to arrange a lineup of witnesses.
Okay. Sure, we can do that.
And so, um, yeah, if you haven't met, there's Detective Hagen.
No,
Who's
I'm
working some case, looking for a murderer.
I think Tom's.
You're muted.
I'm looking for Mr. Richard Westerson. He is a suspect in a murder, but I hear he's already arrested. So,
Yeah.
wanted to get a good look at him.
Okay. Did you want to interview him, or just get a lineup?
Well, I mean, if you guys have a history on the guy, I mean, we could probably take a look at him and say he probably did it. I give them the paperwork at first, that shows Mr. Leif Gunderson, his brother was murdered, the location on the dock, and the witness testifying that Mr. Richard Westerson did it. But yeah, we can talk to him, see what he says, see if he confesses.
Okay.
What happened to you? You guys look like you're a little roughed up.
Strangest damn thing happened to us. We went around the corner because there was a report of a disturbance. There's 8 guys on the ground fighting.
They're just beating the crap out of each other, and they're smiling the whole time.
Yeah, we order them to break it up. They don't. I took
at this time of day. I mean, I could see that at night, on the docks or something. But what is going on? You guys are so busy here. My God, look at this.
I know we can't get on top of things. Actually, we've had officers quit due to the work. I mean, we're just
disappeared.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this has been really busy for me myself, with Mr. Gusterson's brother getting killed. I was just working on a case where there was Cherie Jensen who came to me looking for confirmation that her husband was cheating on her. And I did my due diligence, found out that he was cheating on her, and she shot him and then shot herself.
Oh, geez.
They were like fairly young. They had their whole lives ahead of them. They could have just gotten a divorce and walked away from it. And I wouldn't have taken them for doing anything like that, So what's going on? The violence level has gone through the roof.
I'm telling
you. These are good people that live here,
Yeah.
Have you been drinking the tap water?
Well, I don't drink water usually.
Oh, okay.
Good.
It's a working theory we got.
You think there's something in the water?
Yeah.
I mean, it all comes out of the St. Lawrence River, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
I haven't seen any three-eyed fish. I don't know. But that's interesting you'd say that. Your caseload's gone crazy.
Yeah, we can't get on top of it. We're so far behind.
Do you know when it started? I mean, it's not usually like this.
No.
You say a month or a week? My 2 cases have come up all in the same week.
Yeah, it seems like it's been about a week or so. Yeah.
If this was New York City, it is New York, but it's not New York City. I don't know. Let's take a look at this guy, see if he can enlighten us.
Okay. Yeah. So the secretary, nice girl named Cindy, kind of gestures to the officers, looking a little bit embarrassed, and says, I just looked all the records and I don't see anyone by that name, but I mean, there's been so many people lately. there's a lot of guys in there that haven't been processed yet.
That must be one of those. I was told by his employer at the docks that he was. Shit. I hope his employer didn't just send me on a wild goose chase.
That's happened.
Well, they don't always hire, somebody's got to hire ex-cons and stuff like that, and the dock workers do that, and I get it, give them some decent jobs to do, but they don't usually cover for them if they get in trouble with the law. But let's see if we can find him. I do have a description of him.
Okay, great.
I don't know that does he have any distinguishing features?
Yeah. I mean, just like a unibrow and a pretty tangly beard.
That's half the people in town.
Yeah. So that's
tattoo of an octopus across his face.
No luck on that. But so that's why Roy and Kirk were called back. They go into the tank and round up anybody that looks even remotely like that. Get you a lineup of 15 people.
I should bring in the witness, whoever he was.
Yeah, you want to contact him?
To look. Yeah, let's say I get him over here.
All right. So that's Tony that works at the general store. And
Tony.
And out of the lineup, yeah, it's just maddening seeing the people back there. None of them seem to care that they're arrested. They're all pretty jovial, kind of mocking. And
so Mr. Husqvarna, which one of these is Richard West?
Yeah, and he points out number 7. Pretty easy.
7. Okay. You're sure? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sign it
for sure. That's
all right.
That guy's a cold-blooded murderer, and number 7 is just beaming at you guys, smiling.
And your statement is that you saw him draw a gun and fire it at Mr. Eric Gunderson.
Yes, sir.
Kill him. All right. We get the statement and everything. So I guess now, gentlemen, it's now a homicide.
Yeah, we can start the paperwork and all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever done paperwork for that.
Do you have
I know we have forms. I think they're filed under M, maybe.
For manslaughter?
Yeah.
Mm. And so you guys are looking through the glass at the suspects, and number 7 raises his hand and says, "Can I have a word?"
I'll go out into
go into an interrogation room, maybe.
Yeah, I'll take him. I'll go in and get him and take him to an interrogation room. That sounds like
I want to be in there too. Yeah. So, Mr. Westerson, where were you on the night of, do the usual detective stuff?
Mm-hmm. So he has a real big grin, and he leans in and says, "I'll tell you guys everything you want to know, but I'm only going to tell it to Leif Gunderson."
How do you know Mr. Gunderson? How do you know his brother?
He owns the general store. Everyone in town knows him. I'm not going to kill Leif Gunderson's brother without it being him, allegedly.
So you admit that you
I will. Well, to Leif.
Then we're going to put you in the tank until we can get Mr. Gunderson over here. I'll go make some phone calls. Hello, Mr. Gunderson.
I'll be right there.
Cool.
And so we'll break away from that for Madison. Oh, I'm sorry. I feel I need to specify now. Madison is a boy? a man? All right.
Mr. Derry.
Sorry about that.
It's all right.
Mr. Madison Derry. um, you arrive at the hospital, and there's a lot of cars parked. You can tell there's been a lot of traffic, lots of tracks in the snow.
Well, I've never heard as many sirens in all my years as I have in the last few days.
It's been noisy downtown.
Yeah, so I'm here to see Vincent Grand.
Um, yes, right this way, please. They look pretty frazzled, overworked, but they're look through a couple charts, find the room number, and take you to him. And wrapped up in bandages, bedridden. He's taking a nap right now. Nurse Sunny says he he told us to wake him up when you were here.
Is that wise under his condition? I need his testimony, and I'll wait a reasonable amount of time.
Yeah, that's. Do you mind going outside and having a cigarette? Let's give him a little bit of time to rest.
Yes. So, what do you know about his attacker?
Very little. He was out of town. I'm not sure. He just made it to one of the farmhouses and used their phone. They
Gracious.
wrapped him up in their clothes to stop the bleeding.
Oh, God. Do you know what direction he was coming from?
From the northeast. Just the when you're looking out of town, where the castle is, from that way.
Yes, I mean, I'm afraid I might have sent him to this attack inadvertently. There's a matter of the estate up there at the castle. What hour was he admitted?
It was pretty late. It was quarter till 11 last night.
But if he had to make his way, where was he injured?
He was hysterical. We're not sure how long he ran before he made it to that farmhouse.
It's a nightmare. Was the assault? Did we know what happened to the man who assaulted him? I assume it was a man.
No, we have no idea. We called the police, but
Yes, but well, it's a miracle that he's intact. I mean, it doesn't take very many blows from an axe to put a man down. It's an awful business. And you're very crowded too. Is there something going around? Some sort of bug?
um, I it's the strangest thing. It's all assault.
Hmm, terrible.
Yeah, all just wounds. It's not sickness like we're used to.
Uh, it does seem as though the town's been very unfriendly recently, just in general. I noticed people, I saw a fellow kick a stray cat the other day. I've seen a couple of nasty traffic
Terrible.
altercations. Everyone's up, I mean, it's a chilly November, but it's going to get worse. We always manage. Very peculiar. Well, I'll go and sit with Vincent, and if he doesn't wake up in an hour, maybe I'll ring the bell and we can discuss it. But if he does, I'll if he should rouse himself, I'll talk with him and make my way.
All right. Yeah. That's he was insistent that he'd want you to wake him up. So yeah, give him however time you feel is appropriate. And you go in, and of course you recognize him. His face is paler than the last time you saw. He has some bloodstained bandages on his right hand, around his torso, on his left leg. There's a nice chair next to him to wait. You sit down, and your mind wanders a little bit. And then Behind you, faintly and growing in volume, you hear somebody just yelling, "Wee!" And out of the window behind you, somebody falls and splatters on the ground.
Okay, I'll
Do a sanity roll
sanity
for
roll. Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Oh, 83. No, I wasn't ready for that.
Yeah, do a D4.
Yeah, and you know, one's eye naturally follows the trajectory of these things, so only one. Lucky.
Yeah. And it's right outside the window, so even though it's the window is closed, you can look out and see this terribly injured person while they're kind of gurgling, but
Oh,
the gurgles are strangely like chuckles, and you hear him say, "That was fun."
God. Right. I think I'm going to see if I can gently shake Vincent awake because I don't want to get out of this place.
Yeah, he stirs pretty easily, like kind of chokes on a snore.
Hmm.
Oh, oh, Madison, good to see you. Thanks.
I came as soon as I heard. Do you know who it was?
It it was Jerry, the building inspector. He went mad when we got to the grounds. It was hard getting through the gate. Um, Creepy place, really, really strange. It looks like it's been abandoned for 50 years, overgrown.
Hmm.
We both were talking about how strange it felt, how we didn't want to be there. Then he
Yeah.
saw an axe in a wood cutting little lodge and he just grabbed it and went crazy.
Good God, how did you get away from him?
I got lucky, I guess. I just ran. I'm missing a couple fingers.
Jeez. So, do you think, I mean, obviously you're going to be missing fingers?
Yeah, couple
Like,
on my right hand. I'm not going to be able to write as much as I used to.
I'm very sorry. Keeper, how long have I known Jerry? How long has Vincent known Jerry?
Um, just casually, you don't know him well, but he's been the building inspector for the last 3 years at least.
Right. Um, so for all you know, Jerry's wandering around the castle grounds with a bloody axe still? Has no one gone to retrieve him?
I don't know where he is. I just ran.
Well, congratulations on getting away. Obviously,
Yeah.
you won't be able to file a report. Do you have a recommendation, a partner?
I don't know. You know how this small town stuff is. I feel like I'm a one man show, just like you probably do a lot of the time.
Oh, all too often. Well, perhaps I'll send someone in and you can dictate from memory as much information as you gathered before the assault. I'm going to have to go and see about Jerry. I guess I have to speak to the authorities about this.
Yeah, yeah, get the cops involved. I think that's the legal stuff, you're probably the last person that's allowed on the property at this point.
Right. Well, yes. Well, I won't be going alone. I can assure you of that.
Yeah.
There must be an infinite number of places to hide. It's generally overgrown. Does it seem as though Olaf in his last days was just occupying a small part of the place, or did you get an impression?
That's we didn't even get inside. Just the courtyard is a mess. Big gardens. Looked like they had a hedge maze that just turned into a amalgamation.
Oh, oh yes. hedge maze. Oh, yes. I feel like I've been wandering around in that in my dreams. But if obviously that sort of thing has to be maintained by active gardeners, and if Olaf was up there on his lonesome, then it must be grown into just a thicket. All right. Well, if call the office if there's anything that I can do to make you more comfortable. I assume you'll be here for some time. Other than the fingers, everything is more or less intact.
Yeah, the fingers are the real loss. They say the the chop in my gut isn't gonna be too bad. I I have plans to talk to some insurance representatives, possibly file for early retirement.
Right, and Jeremy's firm might be liable under some circumstances. We'll have to consider
Mhm.
that. And you went to a farmhouse and they called the authorities?
Yeah, very friendly folk. I mean, they had some wild story about their uncle doing it to themselves when they were a kid, but whatever. Either way, those kinds, they're used to handling injuries. They took good care of me.
Right. Well, if you have their names, I'll arrange to have something sent in thanks. We might need them as witnesses later as well.
Hmm. That's a very good idea. Yeah, I think I'll do the same. Well, this whole castle ordeal is just truly a nightmare. I'm sorry. Good luck with it.
Thanks. I mean, it'll be a lucrative nightmare when all is said and done, but
Mhm.
yeah, I need to what is the in the Western films they get a posse together. I need a posse to go up to the castle. I'm not gonna go and face Jerry alone. Did he
Yeah.
say anything?
I he he was saying some weird stuff. He asked if I saw that a couple times, and I didn't. I have no idea what he was talking about.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, Jerry's bigger than me, He's got a couple inches. And when he grabbed the X, he said, "The little man wants to play."
The little man wants to play. Yes, that doesn't sound good at all. I wonder if he had he been drinking, to your knowledge?
Unless he had a boot flask. He hit it well.
Um, how did you go up there? Was it your car, his car?
Yeah, it was mine. We drove together, and he got in between me and it. It's still probably at the gates.
Interesting. Right. Okay. Well, you should rest, obviously. I'll call the office when you're feeling fresh and we can arrange, for some, again, you could tell. Do you remember the name of the farm family offhand?
It was Jones, Henry Jones. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'll check on that. It won't be hard to find. Um, great. All right. You take care. Get better. Sorry that yeah, I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
Thank God you're alive. I mean, it's a good
Yeah.
thing you're smaller than he. That's probably how you outran him.
Yeah. Thank God I'm alive. Good luck with your posse.
Thank you.
All right.
Off to the police station.
Yeah. Which Leif Gunderson as well is showing up.
You
Oh,
got
Mr.
this
Gunderson.
bitch killed my brother.
Oh, we got the suspect. Yes. Um, he, for some reason, wants to speak to you directly.
Well, I want to speak to him too. You might want to have one of those police officers there,
Oh,
Andy.
well, there'll be police officers there. Yes, most definitely. You'll be on the opposite side of a table. with Mr. Westerson restrained.
They found the son of a bitch quickly. Let's go see this house.
He's been in more than one scrape lately. So,
what is this madness? Let's go see him. I want to hear this asshole.
Excuse me. This is Officer Trussell and Officer Cutlip.
Hello, officers. Yes. You need to pay up your tab, Cutlip.
I intend to get around. It's just been really busy.
We'll deal with that later. Let's see this son of a bitch.
So we'll go in.
Yeah. So Rich is in a steel chair with his feet chained to the floor and his hands chained behind him. And he smiles and warmly greets all of you with a nod as you walk in.
And I'm keeping my eye on Leif just to make sure he doesn't do anything silly.
Well, what do you have to say for yourself?
Oh, hello, Leif. Have you been having a good time lately?
Shut the hell up. What did you do to my brother? Why did you do it?
Good. So you're still in your right mind, but you felt it, right? You've had to feel it. Everyone's been feeling it.
What is this madness you're talking about? Ufta.
Feeling what?
This, you want to hurt me, don't you? You want to do terrible things to me. I can tell you.
Yes, you killed my brother, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, but the other three, they all want to do it too. And I didn't do anything to them. It's just little glimpses of my normal brain in between all of this. It's the dreams. You're all having the dreams, aren't you?
Dreams?
What dreams?
Yeah.
I have not had dreams. What are these dreams?
You haven't? No nightmares? None?
No, I mean the usual financial dreams, but what are you talking about?
They're hard times. We're all having bad dreams.
Sorry, even right now I'm trying to. All right, I killed your brother. I'm guilty. I've done a lot of terrible things, but you guys gotta believe me. It's not my fault. The little man made me do it. And he's gonna keep making everyone do things. He's getting into our heads.
What
hell is the little man?
I mean, he's if you try to look for him, you'll see him. But don't. He
What's all this nonsense? Why did you kill his brother?
I did it because I had to.
What do you mean you had
I'm sorry.
Man is clearly insane.
It's at the castle, don't you see? There's something happened at that castle, and the little man got out.
Olaf's castle? Old man Olaf?
Yeah, he's dead now, right? It's not his castle anymore.
That's just what we've always called it. But what is this little man? What are you talking about? Is this man drunk? Is he coming off of drugs? Some reefer or something?
We're not really sure. It's been like this for about a week with people.
What do you mean by the
drunk?
Man?
I feel drunk. I'm not in my own head. It's really hard keeping it together.
Well,
I just want to make fun of you guys and laugh and hurt you and do terrible things.
You know, if you're trying to, if you think you're going to get off with a plea of insanity, I assure you it'll be much worse if you go for a plea of insanity. You're going to end up in the county nut house. And I wouldn't want to be in there for anything in the world.
I don't even care what you guys do with me. I'm not thinking about any of that. These impulses are just worming into my head. I feel out of control of myself. Only because you have me chained down and strapped.
Well, I think
feel like
you've clearly admitted guilt. We haven't had to coerce any kind of confession out of you. Sign this confession. I've been writing it up. Well, I have to take one of your hands and unlock it.
Yeah.
So
like
better not
yeah.
try anything.
Oh, he tries. As soon as you like give him a little bit of freedom, he starts wrestling against you. Yeah, but you're able to hold him back. He's kind of weakened.
Sign it. We have what, three witnesses that you were not coerced into signing this. We'll let a psychologist deal with you.
Yeah, he needs to speak to some head shrink. He's talking about little men and that old creepy castle.
It's gonna keep happening. This town isn't right.
I don't buy it. I think you're just
look
trying
around
to
you.
get out on a plea of insanity. Well, they'll hang you. I'm sure they'll hang you.
He signs the paperwork with a smiley face.
Okay. Snatch that up. We can go. I think we're pretty much done with this piece of shit.
Yes, my thoughts exactly. And Leif kind of turns around and punches him in the face.
Mm-hmm. And at that point, he stops being rational and he just laughs.
It's the 1920s. We stand there and let you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And at that, he just goes manic. He really likes that.
Yeah. Then I'm gonna walk out. That crazy son of a bitch.
Well, you'll see him thrown in the gas chamber or whatever they do in New York City. And
cut out the part of his brain that's making him go crazy. All right, what is he talking about? This castle?
Well, he's talking about Olaf's castle up on the hill, the Koenig Castle.
Yeah. The castle. All the children used to say it was haunted. That crazy old man Olaf. He has his odd little fella. Have you seen that odd little man who comes down to the town sometimes?
Well, I have no idea what you're talking about. No.
Odd
little man.
Yeah. Well, he's a friendly person. He's a simpleton. He's, not all the bulbs are on upstairs, but he comes down to buy the groceries. That's the only person I've ever seen to come down from old Olaf's castle.
Like a caretaker or something?
Perhaps, I don't know, maybe he's just some simpleton relative who runs his errands, or
young or old?
Middle-aged man. I don't know. The simple-minded, they always look a little younger than they actually are.
Well, a place that big, Olaf couldn't be up there all by himself. Somebody's taking care of him.
Yeah.
Making him his tea and feeding him his breakfast. Whatever. I have no idea what's going to happen to that place. I imagine it's just going to revert to the state. They'll make it into a museum or something.
So while you guys are walking through the precinct, the chief comes and rudely finds, just call it Trussell. There's Cindy needs you up front again. There's someone else. All right. I mean, you're the only real help we got anymore. We're going crazy in here.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And you hear him, just going back. Like you can hear papers being thrown around, and he's just yelling. And with the shouts and the laughs of all the people in the tank, it's just absolute chaos. You close the door behind you to the front office, which is just nice and peaceful as it muffles. And you see Cindy introduces you to Madison Derry and says, "Hello, officers. This nice lawyer has come in with some troubles."
Oh, Yes, Mr. Derry, how can we help you?
Good day, all. I've just come from the hospital. An associate of mine was brutally attacked up at the Conan Castle on the hill by a
Oh,
fellow of my acquaintance of some years who is on the loose with an axe.
oh no.
Yeah, so I think if it's possible, we need to go and secure that property and possibly find Jerry Lundergaard and bring him in if he hasn't injured himself or fled to injure others. Um, our associate's car was at the castle, so it's possible that Jerry took off in that. But otherwise, he's just on the loose. He's a perfectly respectable building inspector under normal circumstance, and Vincent saw no reason to be concerned until he suddenly hefted an axe from outside the property and began an assault.
It's amazing he lived through that.
Yeah, I mean, we might recover a couple of his fingers on the site,
Oh,
but other than that, his prognosis is good. Is there anyone available to help me secure that property?
it's really just me and Tussle here. It's a pretty tough situation here at the precinct. The cells are all full. We've been running around like crazy. It's crazy.
Right. Well, I would assume that an axe-wielding maniac is probably a high priority, though, right?
Yeah, that does take. Yeah, yeah.
That's how many other murders is that? Jesus, what the hell is it? We got another. There's more shit going down at this
This house.
castle.
Yeah, yeah. This is really really interesting that you've come in today because we've had another uh, incident, not directly involving the house, but maybe indirectly.
Well, you are interrupted when you hear gunshots in the back rooms that you just came out of back in the precinct.
Oh shit, Tussle! You don't think Gunderson actually killed that guy, do you?
Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't know what the maybe. Let's get back there.
All right. So at this point, I mean, there's not too much enforcement. Who all is who's staying in the front of the building and who's going to the back of the precinct?
I'm not
Uh,
approaching gunshots.
Yeah,
I might have dropped behind Cindy's desk at
there you go.
the second pop.
Well, yeah, I'm grabbing Mr. Gunderson and we're taking cover.
yeah.
All right.
I pull out my gun though. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, so that
But,
makes sense. The cops are the ones that respond.
cops are the cops, right? It's the cop business. Yeah, just stay down, Mr. Gunderson.
All right. So, um, Cutlip and Trussell, you run back and you see that the chief of police who you've worked under for all these years, Steve Folger, is laughing like a man and opening fire at the people that are in the tank, just shooting through the bars, killing people, and do sanity rolls.
That is a failure.
Oh, I passed.
Do a lose one on a pass and do a D3 for fail.
Okay. 2.
All right. Where he's just laughing and popping off shots, killing people, going like, just fuck it. Fuck it, I see it now. Let's just have fun. The little man showed me the way. Just fuck it. Who cares about anything? Just have fun. And just blasting people who, like, a couple of them in there are reacting appropriately, but most of them are just standing there and taking it.
Chief, what the fuck are you doing? Put down the
Gotta
fucking
restrain
gun,
him.
Chief. And I got my hand
And-
hovering over my gun.
Yeah, and he's just kind of laughing and just like turns and just like, oh, hello, Officer Kirk, and tries to shoot at you, but it clicks. He's out of ammo.
I'm gonna run at him and tackle him.
Take him
Yeah,
down.
do a
Yeah.
brawl roll.
Let's see. Oh, it's actually really bad. Yeah, I failed pretty hard.
All right, so you run at him, and
There's
he
other
just kind of
cops. Yeah.
he like I mean, you have your head down like you're trying to tackle him. He grabs the back of your uniform and just kind of tosses you into the wall, and take one damage.
It takes me a moment to kind of process everything. And so I'm still kind of standing there in shock when Kurt gets thrown across the room. And so, yeah, I'm going to pick up a chair and try to hit the captain
All
or the
right,
chief.
yeah, go for it. So he's now outnumbered.
Okay. I got a 2.
Dang. All right. Um, yeah, so you just bash him with a metal chair and he falls down, still laughing, like obviously concussed and out of it.
Yeah.
And he's just kind of mumbling frantically and he's laughing, just that old son of a bitch is telling the truth all these years. The Kuniks acted like they owned this town, said they were protecting us from the curse, but Olaf croaks, and the little man came out of the castle.
I'm gonna try to handcuff the chief to a heavy object that he can't get away from.
Yeah, you get him to the radiator.
Yeah, that's a good
Like
idea.
he's struggling, but you're able to overpower him. You know, this is your
Okay.
job.
Yeah. And then once that happens, I go check with Kirk and I'm like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah, he's a lot faster than he looks.
Yeah. Yeah. He's talking about the little man too.
He's what is this crap? This is insane.
No, I don't know. I don't know. Who is this little man?
Do they have I don't think I've ever met a little person in this town.
I haven't. No, and the little guy that comes down to the general store, I don't think I know that guy. I don't think I've ever met him.
And apparently he's been able to come out of the castle anyway, right?
It's what it seems like on shopping trips.
Well, we gotta like get some medical attention for these idiots in the cage in the cage in the cells.
Yeah. Yeah,
We need-
I'll call the local hospital and see if we can get somebody over here or several somebodies over here.
Yeah, EMT's on the way.
We need to try to contact a doctor who knows something about medical diseases. Something is going on here. Maybe there is something in the water.
Ugh,
Call the university or call the. I don't know. We don't have CDC yet, so
Yeah,
Gunderson, what were you doing in the back of the police precinct? You're not in trouble as well, are you?
I'm sorry. Who'd you say that to?
Oh, I think he froze. No, he didn't.
I was speaking to Gunderson. Everyone
Oh, okay,
goes to the
sorry.
general store.
Yeah. Hello there, Madison. No, my brother was murdered by one of those maniacs back there, and
Oh,
the man admitted to everything and started talking about the castle and clearly sane man. Talking about a little man. I don't know. I'm getting exhausted by all this nonsense. I think I'm gonna go grab my rifle as well. The whole town seems to be going insane.
the fellow who attacked my colleague was talking about a little man. He said the little man wants to play. Maybe the Koenigs were hiding some half-wit relative up in that old crumbling place all these years, and now that no one's caring for him, well, that wouldn't change anyone else's behavior.
No, Yeah, Trussell seemed to think that there was something in the water.
It was a guess, and
Well, I
now that
know,
the
but that's a
chief
good
is
guess.
now that
Something's
the
going
chief
around
is
very quick. We need to get a medical, somebody who knows something about pathogens.
But why would every one of these maniacs be talking about Olaf's castle? Well, that seems to be the connecting piece here. That are they fixated on this idea? It seems very odd that they're all
It's
mentioning the same thing.
it's always been a creepy old castle, and it sort of dominates our skyline. So,
Mhm.
I mean,
And as far as I know,
Hell,
there's an axe-wielding maniac up there now, or
ah,
stumbling away from it, which
That's
if we could track him down, that might be good. Although at least an axe is less efficient than a firearm.
Mm.
Gunderson, how many rifles do you have at the store?
Well, we are well stocked. We certainly get quite a few hunters in this area.
Yes. All right. I'll take two. Let's go down there now. Do you have a car? We can take mine.
It's just right down. It's just a block away from the
Well, no, but
station.
to get up to the
Oh,
castle.
oh, should we go up to the castle?
We
Uh,
can take you in a
yeah,
police car.
we're going up there anyway.
yes, well, we'll
if
stop by the general store. I'd like to have a couple of boxes of ammunition.
and if you're
Certainly.
going, I'm going. So,
I have nothing to lose at this point, and the whole town seems to be insane. I don't think anyone's going to be shopping, needing anything to shop soon.
You might
Um,
you might want to lock the place up, and we should probably get the volunteer fire department on alert if they're not already. Keep an eye out for little men.
I'm going to make a call to the local, the nearest larger hospital. This is New York State. So whichever one that would be. And I'm going to tell them that we have a situation in Ogafjord. There seems to be kind of a hysteria that's spreading through the town, and we don't know if it's related to the water or the food or something airborne, but we need to know. It's even affecting the police.
So if we could get Rochester is probably the nearest reasonable city. We could get someone up.
Yeah, get it into their hands.
We also don't want to completely destroy the town's reputation.
It's doing that for itself.
Yeah.
They're going to burn it all down the way things are going.
Are we actually the only two cops left in town?
There's a few other that are out on patrol. There's some people that were at their desks doing paperwork that looked very shocked during your little brawl. But yeah, you're not entirely sure how many bodies are out there right now.
Yeah, I say we get some of our, get the flunky over there in the corner, get him to do the grunt work. He can go send off for help. We got an axe wielding maniac to go after.
Nice. Yeah, he'll go get the National Guard or whatever he can find. Get a hold of the Navy.
The Navy. Yeah, I'm gonna grab a shotgun for Kirk and I because I feel like that we need a little extra protection
Oh yeah.
if we're going up against a little man.
Is there like body armor?
Um,
I don't know if they have that in the
I'm honestly
1920s.
not sure in the 1920s. Probably not. But I did kind of want to hover on one thing since Madison specifically said keep an eye out for a little man. Are any of you trying to be more perceptive of like, are you like looking over your shoulders, starting to get paranoid, actually looking for a little man?
No. I think that it's all just
Psychosomatic.
hysteria. It's hysteria.
Yeah.
Kirk might be looking out for a little man.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have had it pretty rough. Just,
Yeah,
just
I think yeah.
yeah, give me power rolls where you're just out of the corner of your eye, you just think you're noticing something every once in a while.
That is a regular pass.
What's regular?
Oh,
Wait, no, I got a hard.
pass.
Regular for you too?
Yeah, regular.
Okay. So, for for the detective getting a hard and being kind of skeptical, you just hear like a strange little like flute melody for a couple seconds that is just very out of place and then vanishes. But so yeah, you
We got a
guys
flute.
are all armed. Yeah. Grabbed you raided the police armory. You got Leaf's guns out of the general store. Is next stop the castle?
I think so. I'm gonna tell my secretary to go home, and I'll probably phone the office and say that she should lock up the office, go home, and lock herself in. Maybe put on the radio something, a big broadcast from the city, nothing local.
Yeah, that's a pretty good idea. So you guys drive out to the castle, which is outside of town, but close enough that you can always see it. And like the people that have lived there just are so unfriendly and reclusive that none of you have ever really gotten even close. It's on a long, winding dirt road by itself. No reason to ever go out there unless you're going that way, and they'll always stop you if the kids go to play or whatever.
And the
And
Koenigs have never been in trouble with the law.
they just keep to themselves.
Yeah.
Um,
I assume that we got the paperwork from some ancestor or predecessor of Olaf and some predecessor of mine, so I haven't had business with them.
yeah. Um,
Do we know if he was ever married or who his parents were and how long they've been gone, that sort of thing?
so since you have been going through the paperwork, I suppose now would be a good time to bring that up. That is a good idea. That if you guys want to dig more into the paperwork to do some research, you do have a pretty valuable resource there. But it's just a matter of time and urgency. But while you were familiarizing yourself with the situation, things got uncomfortable pretty fast, where they seemed to propagate themselves through incest, and Olaf died alone because he didn't have a sister.
Right.
Or a wife or a kid. Yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Mhm.
The last of the line, probably an increasingly degenerate line.
Yeah.
Like the
Uh,
Habsburgs.
Oh, another
And
reason not to come to town very much.
yeah, and there's so much of those papers that you haven't been able to decipher. There's probably more you could learn if you think it's necessary. Just sitting on your desk.
What's
Yeah,
all of this on your paperwork? Is this doesn't look like Latin.
as far as I can tell, there's Old English, and pre-modern American English. There are some, I believe these are Celtic runes. Some of this is not paper, some of it is actual parchment. So we're looking at animal skins. When the house is roughly 200 years, or the castle is roughly 200 years old, and the family has claims on territory, allusions to deeds that precede, I don't know, America, obviously. I mean, the United States.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they were crazy. They were crazy. Not sure what they were doing for money, either back in the days when they could build this European style castle up here on the river, or more recently. But uh, I'll put the documents that I haven't really given attention to yet in my attaché case and take them up there with us in case anything should present itself that will help us figure out what sort of infection that old man's death unleashed. That's what it feels like.
Sort of germ. Well, stop drinking water, drink alcohol. Alcohol kills germs.
Yeah. Well, um, you had mentioned to me that the Detective Hagen speaks Nordic. What language?
Norwegian.
Norwegian, yeah. So, um, there are some recognizable but very difficult sections that you could pour over if you wanted to. It would probably take a little bit longer than the car ride. You'd have to stay at it for a little
Oh,
bit.
there is some Norwegian that's in there.
It's just a mess of languages. Yeah, you might be able to pick out some words. Who knows?
Yeah.
I also have a small skill in Norwegian too.
Yeah, it's the area we live in. The
Mhm.
Scandinavian background. But this runic stuff, that's
Old.
a thousand years ago that they switched to the Latin alphabet. So that's
Does
crazy.
anyone even know how to interpret this anymore?
Somebody at Cornell you mentioned, maybe?
Yeah, as I've sent some photostats off, but I don't know when I'll hear from them.
These are the legal documents. So
Some of it is related to the prop. I'm not sure about all of it. There's probably, I have this sort of. I didn't deal with the family directly. One of my predecessors did. So we have basically this file of their paperwork that got stashed away that seemed important.
we have an old degenerate family living in a castle. Now they're all dead.
Hopefully.
And they've infected us with some sort of laughing disease.
It infected me. Of course, I'm
Well,
not a
me either,
Scandinavian.
but
I'm
geez,
feeling
what if it's, we don't really know genetic yet. So yeah, that's weird.
hereditary.
We really got to get somebody up here.
To say that normally I'm not particularly proud to be of Irish ancestry, but given the nature of this village and what it's going through at the moment, I don't know. The dairies are looking pretty good. So I was told, officers, that the assault on my appraiser happened in the courtyard. So if there's a blood trail from a maniac's axe, it might begin there.
Okay.
Didn't know.
Anything else about the encounter we should know about?
I can give you a description of Jerry Lunderberg. Scandinavian-looking fellow,
Yeah,
russety.
big guy.
Yep. Wore a little pencil mustache. And and he might be carrying an axe. Usually he's really mild-mannered. Keeper, is Jerry married to the best of my knowledge?
No, not that you know.
Okay, I'm not immediately concerned that he's walking down out of the hills toward his home with an axe.
That'd be pretty scary, yeah.
That's a good thing.
Well, this is a dirt road going up here for a bit, so we'd probably see him on the road if he was walking down.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got 16 hours on us at least.
That's true, yeah.
But he might be holed up in the estate, since something there seems to have broken his mind.
All right.
This all
Well,
seems to start with Olaf dying.
With the drive up there, I'll ask Helver and Leaf if you feel like you're in the mindset where you would be able to try to translate some of the stuff, since it would take a lot of attention and you're in a moving car, you know. You can give me a roll if you think you're up for it.
I'm going to do a constitution roll first to see if it makes me ill, because
Sure.
trying to read in a car usually makes me sick.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
there's
I'll do
not
that
very
too.
good suspension these days.
Constitution. Yes, I did not pass. So I read for 5 minutes and then I'm like, I can't.
Yeah, it's just nonsense.
I did get a hard pass on my my constitution, so I'll try my Norwegian, which is not very good, but
Yeah.
we'll see. Cross our fingers. No, I did not.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's an archaic form.
Barely got my English skills.
Yeah, you see like one word that you recognize, you know. It says like bread in the middle of a page or something.
It's all Greek to me. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. And so you guys come up this long winding road, and at the castle gates, and yeah, European castle made of stone, like impressive masonry that towers above you, strong fortified wall.
What if they moved this from Europe over here? Stone by stone.
Oh, right at the gate is a car parked.
Right. I think we'll find that's Vincent's registration in the glove compartment.
Yes, he's still here.
When you get that close, I guess do spot hiddens. See, you're all just getting pretty close to it because they're.
I rolled a 1, so
Wow.
I spot
Okay. Yeah, so you see the blood trail in the snow like you were expecting. There is a gash from a very sharp blunt object near the handle of the driver's side door, and there's a couple of fingers on the ground beneath it.
What's
Poor
this
Vincent
man's
was
name?
hit. Jerry is who you're expecting here. Vincent is the victim. So you could, with a 1, yeah, you piece it together pretty easily that's when his hand got hit, was when he tried to open the door.
So he was already fleeing, Jerry. I mean, I'm not surprised his memory is a little unclear. Officers, I mean, these have been preserved since last night by the cold. Do you suppose it's possible that he could still have them attached?
I don't know. I mean, I figure there might be some really good surgeon in a big city that might be able to do that.
Yeah, anyway, it won't hurt them to stay in the cold.
What's Jerry's last name? Do we know?
Yes. Jerry Lunderberg.
Lunderberg. Yeah. I'll approach the gate and just yell out, Mr. Lunderberg, are you here?
Is there enough snow is there enough snow to follow? I mean, I'm sure that like Vincent's blood trail leaves the property to the road, and maybe the road has less snow on it. But do we see Jerry's a big fellow. Do his footsteps in the snow indicate anything?
Yeah, you can see so the blood doesn't start at the car either. There's blood coming out through the gate from the initial attack. And it's I mean, I would call for a track for specifics, you know, but you're able to see that the blood and one set of footprints leaves back towards town, and it seems that the other set goes back onto the property, that Jerry is still here. Right. So with the detective shouting out like that, I'm assuming that all of you are guns drawn at the ready.
And we're not standing in a place where he can come around a corner and attack us.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind
of like
in the courtyard.
I mean, yeah, the officers are like tactically hidden behind the car. You guys are ready for anything. And after a little bit of a delay, you see a hand wave out from around the side, and a nice jolly voice says, Oh, hello. Who's there?
Come
Uh,
out, yeah.
Police, come out with your hands up.
So, oh, oh, good. I was just about to come get you guys. This is great. And he walks out, and everybody but Leaf do sanity rolls as this man is just like looks deformed, bulbous features. His skin is green, kind of. His hair is in pigtails. If you fail, it's just one. If you pass, it's zero. As it's like almost inhuman looking. Just a very, very strange man comes out with his hands up. Just, boy, I'm excited to see you. I was just about to go get the police.
Yeah, okay. So stay right there. Yeah, don't move. What's your name?
Oh, me Tug.
Me, Tug. It's nice to meet you.
No,
Um,
Tug. Me
oh,
Tug.
Tug. You're
I'm
Tug.
Tug.
You're Tug. Okay. What's your last name, Tug?
Just Tug.
Officer, this is the man who comes down to the general store to buy groceries for the castle.
Oh, I see. I see. Okay.
No, this is
Tug?
not Cherry.
No. Tug, we're looking for a guy. It was here earlier. Yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah. Have you seen anybody around here?
May have an
Um,
axe.
there's there's someone with an axe here? No, I haven't seen anyone.
Okay.
Did you see those fingers and the blood?
Yeah, he'll come over and just That's very strange. Is that any of yours?
No, no, no. This man is in hospital. Um, we're looking for the man that caused this.
Cherry Lugmas
Lunderberg.
Lunderberg.
They're
Tug,
here?
we
Yes.
believe so. Do you live here, Tug?
Yes. Tug lives here at Castle.
Are you related to Olaf Koenig?
No.
Um, do you work for Mr. Koenig?
Yes, Tug work. Tug is the groundkeeper.
You're aware that Olaf is dead, right?
Yes. Very unfortunate.
Tug, do
Keeper,
you mind
what
if we
did
come?
Olaf die of?
Um, Natural causes. It's
Aged decrepitude. Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Tug
Yeah.
is probably the one that reported it, honestly. He's the one that goes to town.
Yes. As the detective was saying, we need to look for the man with the axe.
Yeah, good. 'Cause-
Or we could also be looking for somebody who's a little man.
Oh, what kind of little man?
Well, little, I think not you. I don't. That's all I know.
Hmm. I mean, hmm. I mean, could you describe the little man?
No.
Happily, we haven't seen the little man. Tug, you said you were going to call the police. What for?
Oh, we've got a big problem here. There's a bad thing in the basement that Olaf was taking care of, but now he's dead. And I think it's gonna be a problem.
A bad thing in the basement. An animal?
I don't know. Tug isn't allowed inside.
You're not allowed
Well,
inside the house or the basement.
Tug not allowed in castle. Tug sleeps outside with the animals.
Oh.
fucking bastard, mister. We need to search for Jerry to see if he's still here.
Tug, have you seen anyone else around here?
Oh no, castle's empty.
Okay.
How do you know it's empty if you're not? Do you go in now? Have you been
No,
inside?
no, Tug's not allowed inside.
So you haven't seen anyone outside.
Hmm.
That may mean that we need to go inside to look for said perpetrator.
Yeah, sure. And take care of the thing in the basement.
How did Olaf take care of the thing in the basement before he died?
I'm not sure,
He's not allowed inside the
but
castle, so
it was probably hard and really important.
Were you born here, Tug?
Yes. No, no, Tug from the old country.
Hmm.
Tug doesn't remember, sorry.
Do you have any family, Tug?
No, just Tug.
You're not gonna be able to stay here, when the new owners come, Tug.
What? Where will Tug go?
That's what I'm wondering. We're gonna find the bad man with the axe and the thing in the cellar. Where do you sleep?
Oh,
Barn?
yeah, with the animals.
Mhm. Do you feel all right, Tug? Do you need a doctor?
Tug is okay. Just you guys, you do your important work. I'll be around. He picks up like a gardening hoe. It's just Tug has work to do.
Thanks, Tug.
Suppose we
Right.
let's go in.
head to the front door, right?
Watch the corners. Watch out for axe-wielding maniacs.
Yeah. So Tug whistles a nice happy little tune and walks off into the gardens. And yeah, you guys following the footprints, you can see that the other two didn't go to the castle right away. The footprints veer off around the corner, and you guys can see a stable. That seems to be where all the axe stuff happened. Um, but yeah, you could go right to the front door.
Should we check the stable out?
Couldn't hurt.
A lot of places you can hide, so be careful.
All right.
I'll try the same tactic though, Mr. Jerry Shorterberg.
Lundenberg, we're out here. Lundenberg, are you still on the
All right.
site?
So shouting as you go, being careful. It kind of sounds like the detective is the first, right? You don't get a response from your shouts, but you do hear some goats bleating, some horses whimpering. As you go up to the stable, but there's also just a terrible stench. Just worse than manure.
Well, maybe. Oh, you mean like death?
Yeah, it's pretty
Dead
bad.
body. Do you smell that?
And the door's closed. You can't see in the stable from where you are. You'd have to open the door.
I have a feeling I know exactly what we're going to find in here now. I'll move to the side and I'll pull open the door.
All right. So the door slides open with you have to give it quite a budge. It seems that the hinge is rusted.
Yeah.
And as it opens, all of the animal sounds stop, and you guys look inside, and it's just like all of the animals in their stalls are dead and decaying.
What the hell? Didn't we just hear animal noises? Not what I expected.
No. So there's no animals on the property at all. The noises were coming from the stable.
Yeah, the sound was definitely coming from here, and you see the goats and horses just rotting carcasses.
Dear God.
So older than 24 hours?
It seems like a very long time, yeah. Even though it's warmer inside the stable, so they're not being preserved.
I'm
Yeah.
going to go in carefully and look around to see if I see a human body.
All right. So I'm gonna call for a sanity roll for going inside and getting close to all this stuff.
92.
All right. Who is joining him? Are you guys letting the detective take this one?
No, I'm going to go into it.
I'm gonna go in as well. Yeah. I've been
Yeah.
around dead bodies and butchering and stuff like that. So
Perfectly happy keeping an eye out for Jerry.
Yeah.
That's yeah, no.
All right. So yeah, whoever is going inside sanity rolls. As it is just very unsettling being around all this.
Yep, I passed that.
All right.
Sure.
So with passes, I'm still gonna take one just from how unsettling it is. But I'm sorry, Kirk, you're staying outside with Madison?
No, I was going to go in.
Oh, okay. How'd you roll?
I failed.
Oh, okay. So you two then. So while you guys, I'll say that you naturally split up into two different groups where Leaf and Roy are on one end and Hagen and Officer Trussell are on the other end. Where just for Hagen and Trussell, suddenly you hear the animals again, just screaming furiously, and a giant monstrous horse just like charges at you and do dodge rolls.
What?
And when I say monstrous, I mean in size alone. It is a big horse.
22 out of 30. So I dive to the side.
Yeah. So you
And
guys.
I did a luck roll as well to see if I landed in the effluence of other
Oh
animals.
man.
And I didn't. So
Okay. And as you guys both dodge out of the way, like, you blink, you turn your heads for a second, and there's no more sounds. All the animals are dead again. There is no horse. And I'll do a D6 loss on that sanity for both of you.
oh, 4 points. Ouch.
3.
Yeah, and so it is obvious for Leaf and Roy. No human body, by the way. Just you can see that someone walked through here recently, whether it was Tug or Jerry, who knows. But yeah, while you guys are looking at all the remains, Officer Kirk and Detective Hagen just scream and dive out of the way of nothing.
Where
What the
did
hell?
where did the horse go?
What the fuck is going on in here?
What horse?
There's no horse.
It's so
It just
big.
knocked us over.
It was
Maybe the
huge. How
fumes
did
are
you see it?
the fumes are getting to you. Step out of the
Maybe
out
you're
of the
right.
stable.
Jesus Christ. What the fuck kind of a carnival is this?
Can I tell from the corpses like how they might have died?
So, it's kind of sad. It seems almost like neglect, like maybe they starved, maybe they froze.
Yeah. I was gonna ask Doug if he was taking care of the animals and how he was taking care of them.
Yeah. And Madison, poking around outside just a little bit. You can look around out back, like near the stable is that woodshed, and you can see the stump as described where the axe was taken from. That this is about as far as they got, which they must have gone and looked at that overgrown hedge maze first and then come here second. But This is as far as they made it onto the property.
So
Out,
there's blood there.
nearby, yes. That's where it starts.
Um, no sign of Jerry. Right. And so they basically, it looks like from the prints that exist in the snow still, it looks like they basically circumnavigated the property as if they were looking at things from the outside before going in.
Yeah, and with your fundamental, like rudimentary understanding of building inspection, that's kind of what you do is you look at the foundation first, right? So they tried to take a lap.
Right. And then Jerry lost his marbles and attacked him, and he tried to get in his car, and he lost a couple of fingers, and then they managed to make it to a nearby farm. I guess we probably passed a few farms on the way up.
Yeah, there's you guys probably would have had an eye out for that. Yeah, there's only a couple obvious ones that you could check if you wanted to.
Right. Well, I'm not going anywhere solo, significantly far away from the group. And I was swinging my rifle around as I came into this wood shed, like, an absolute jackanape, just not wanting to have an axe swing out of nowhere. But it seems like Jerry, if he didn't go into the castle, which is a distinct possibility, he might be in the hedge maze. So I'm going to go and fetch the posse.
All right. So you turn away from the stump and do a power roll for me.
Oh, 88 is not success.
All right. So yeah, just a real unsettling, gloomy feeling to this place. And you probably hear that shout, the couple shouts from inside as they're all rushing out of the stables.
Right. Okay. Maybe he was in there. So I'll hustle back, making sure not to, shoot myself on the way.
Yeah, and you guys are coming out of the mess.
Was he in there?
No, no. There's a bunch of dead animals in there. It looks like they died of neglect.
So Tug doesn't sleep with these animals. Maybe Tug sleeps with badgers.
I don't know how he'd be able to feed or afford feed for these animals, anyways. It's a tragedy.
But there was something. I heard shouts.
Yeah, there was a big ass horse in there somehow. I saw it. Halvard, you saw it, right?
Yeah, it ran right into me, pushed me over. Or we're hallucinating. Maybe there's some sort of weird gas thing going on up here.
Right. Well,
It's likely.
I know where Jerry picked up the axe, and it seems as though the tour before he began axe wielding went into the hedge maze. So maybe he's hiding out in there or froze to death there. Maybe he got lost in his mental state. Shall we have a look?
I don't like the sound of going through a maze.
What time is it?
Oh man. I'd say probably about 3 o'clock.
Oh, okay. 3 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Sun's
Okay. This
gonna
whole thing
start
is
going
playing out in the
down.
dark in my head.
Yeah. I mean it's northern hemisphere, it's in winter, so sun does go down early, but you guys got a couple hours.
I don't want to get stuck in that hedge maze in the dark.
Yeah. No.
I think we need to
I'm
get
wondering if we should go check out the castle while there's still light.
Tug says there's something in the basement.
Yeah, we might want to go in there and start a couple of fires and see what there is about. I don't even know if the place is electrified. So we might need to figure out lanterns or something.
Do we see any wires coming up? Yeah.
Nope.
So it's probably kerosene lamps on the inside. You're shaking the whole town.
That's a kitten.
So
Yeah.
let's go up to the front doors.
All right. And so there's very tall doors, it's got to just be for show, right? Probably close to 9 feet tall,
The size of
double
those
swinging
knockers.
doors. Yeah. And like in an arch above the doors are more of those runes that you guys don't understand.
Maybe the old man
Crazy.
has a dictionary inside. He must have a library in a place like this.
Well, I guess
Oh.
I'm gonna push the doors open or pull them open or whatever.
All right, they go inward. So as you start pushing on them, they give slowly. There's some dust, and you guys notice that the runes glow red
What the fuck?
in the stone.
To wire this thing up somehow.
Guess they do have electricity.
Or a battery, or yeah.
Crazy old rich people.
Right.
Good.
Is it like cavernous on the inside?
Uh, yeah, kind of. There's one main hallway that goes off into the
Real-
darkness. There's
Dracula castle. Yeah.
yeah. There's a couple of wings right away that you can see. First off on the left, there's some like hay on the floor, and it looks like what would be like a servant's quarters. There's lots of like little apartments in there that are just empty and abandoned. There's a lot of cobwebs, and the whole place smells musty.
Are there like footprints in the dust on the ground?
Um,
If there's dust on the ground,
do you have track you could roll for me?
this character has a whole lot of track actually. I didn't expect that.
Nice.
Flashlights.
And I got a 1.
Wow. Wow. All right. So with a 1, yeah, I'll give you that. You couldn't really see the footprints in the snow outside because something had been dragging through and disturbing the place, but you see a perfectly preserved footprint in the dust that matches what was out by the car, and it seems that Jerry has come through this way.
Well, boys, take a look at that. That's a footprint. Our
Yeah.
perp's in
Be on
here.
the lookout.
I'll look around for some hurricane lanterns and see if I can get them lit.
Oh, we should, I mean, you're the authorities and everything, but logically, we should sort of stick together.
Yeah.
Because he could be hiding anywhere in this giant place, and he's out of his gourd. We want to light each room as we go, and it's probably the same temperature inside as out. So, if we light a fire in each room, then we can dispel some of the shadow. We cannot, succumb to a chill. We can sort of clarify, right, and
Yes, yeah.
expand our.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
exactly what I was about to say.
Should we
The-
call his name, or should we try to not be noticed?
Well,
If we could just get him to come out, that would expedite things.
I
What do you
think
think?
that.
I-
Go ahead.
If we're the
Are-
police, we should
and-
probably announce ourselves.
Yeah. And our experience so far, I mean, our experience so far, people don't necessarily attack on sight.
They seem to be kind of proud of what they're doing. Or
Yeah.
I think if he wants to attack us secretly, calling out his name or not calling out his name is going to be the same thing. But if we call out his name, he might just come out of hiding.
Oh. Right. Okay.
We could tell them we're looking to fight. That seems to get their attention of the guys in town.
The real question, I suppose, is whether we should shoot him or not. If this is some sort of a disease, then he's not in his right mind. It's not really his fault. But if he comes at us with an axe, you kind of gotta shoot him or get hurt.
Try not to shoot to kill. Then he might be able to give us some more information too.
Yeah.
I suppose there's probably rock salt on the premises. You guys are carrying shotguns, so you could be certain to, I mean, you could increase your chances of not killing by loading with salt instead of shot. Don't think that'll work with this rifle, but all right. Well, so is there a fireplace in the Great Hall? I'll start there if there is stuff to make a fire.
Yeah. Well, so since you mentioned the temperature, it is very cold in here. If anything, it feels colder than outside somehow. You guys see your breath. And when you were talking about looking for lanterns, I think this is exciting. What you find are torches, sconces, and tinder boxes.
Wow, they were keeping it old school, as they will say in 100 years or so.
I've always kind of wondered how long one of these things burns. Are they oil? They probably have oil in them, maybe.
Pitch.
Yeah. There's a cloth wrapped around the end with some twine and some dark fluid soaked on.
Fortunately, I'm from the modern world and have a lighter, so we wouldn't have to worry about the tinderbox.
Right. What a strange old bunch of people.
Yeah.
Well, not a bunch.
Well, then I'm guessing those runes were electrified. No idea what that was happening out there.
You know, there's phosphorescent lichen, but it seemed right to happen right when we went through, right?
When we opened the door.
Yeah.
Jerry! I'm here with the police.
Right.
We want to fight. Come out and fight us.
That's brilliant. I like that a lot. With you guys lighting torches and walking into the castle, I think is where we're going to end for tonight.
Getting the big gigantic fireplace going.
Yeah.
With the big gigantic lion's face over it growling at us.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Our players included David Gasaway, Troy Wildryer, Julian Arba, Chance Wooten, and myself, with Calen McDowell as the keeper of arcane lore. We have a Discord server where you can chat with our other members, you can set up private games, and you can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastering. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Spotify, Podbean, or iTunes. Support for our show is provided by our patrons who are listed in the closing credits. If you would like to join them, please visit our Patreon page in the list listed in the description. Or you can use the super thanks button that's right below the screen. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows, and leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answering any questions you might have. This is Thom Raley, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck and good gaming.